This AI factory automatically creates and publishes a viral format of Instagram Reels. First, I'll show you some examples and then I'll show you how it works. So let's look at some examples right now on Instagram. This one, 18 million. He's got ones that do 17 million, 12 million, bunch more doing really well. And he's also got a product in his bio, $14.99, getting reviews. So he's making money. And again, we're going to show how to do this on autopilot so that you could set up your own product and have sales come in automatically. Another example here, as you can see, 200K. Same thing, white box. It fades in and there's text, and then he's getting leads from that as well. Again, more, this is an AI agent example, white box with a caption. Here, 1.4 million, 900,000, 1.1 million, 2.7 million, 1.9 million. So as you can see, it works really well. So I've reverse engineered it into a workflow so that we can create it and publish them automatically. So we're going to walk through how to make this in this video, but first I'm going to walk you through how it works. So to start, it starts with a schedule trigger. So once a day, 2 or 3 times a day, however much you want, it's going to start the workflow. Then it's going to go into this Google Sheet to access some base templates. At the end of the video, I'm going to show you how you can create these templates for whatever niche you want, but I'm also going to give you this Google Sheet for some examples to use to test. Okay, so the videos that we're going to make in this tutorial are the AI niche like this. So this is one that the system created. I muted the audio. There's a song, but it's just for copyright reasons. As you can see, it fades in, and then this up here was written and edited in by AI so that it is a unique piece of content and Instagram doesn't flag it as a duplicate. So we're going off of Graham's format here. So credit to Graham, go check him out. He's awesome. That is the format we're going to go through in this video. Again, at the end of the video, I'm going to walk you through how you can create any format you want. Okay. So once it's gone through the spreadsheet, it's going to pick a random template, and you can have as many in there as you want. It's going to pick a random one. Then it's going to write the caption for the Instagram post, so like the actual caption at the bottom. And then it's going to write the caption for in the white text. I call it the screenwriter. Once those are written, it's going to, this just organizes the caption for on screen. And then it's going to create that video in Create-O-Mate, which we'll go through. It's going to wait for that video to be done. And then these two nodes, are responsible for uploading it to Instagram automatically. Before I walk through how to create this node by node in n8n, I'm going to walk through the pricing of the 2 softwares that it uses. The first software is Create-O-Mate. So this is $54 a month to actually render the videos so that it's a unique video every single time. And when it's posted, Instagram doesn't flag it as a duplicate and essentially shadow ban it, right? This is going to make sure that it's unique, and it's going to be able to dynamically create all of the videos based on what we want. And you get 2,000 credits. I've made a bunch of videos and have barely put a dent in that. And it's just a great software to use for this, right? Then there is Blotato. So Blotato, $29 a month. You can get 20 social media accounts. So you can post to 20 different accounts. You can do TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, whatever you want. And this is important because you need an API that is trusted by the algorithms. If you're posting automatically to the algorithm, they want to make sure that it's not a bot. So Blotato is trusted so that when your videos are being posted, you're not getting shadow banned. So that's why this is important. Then there's also the ChatGPT API for actually like writing the captions and stuff, but I've only used like 46 cents this month. So that's basically nothing. And then there's n8n, assuming you already have that as well. So that's all of the expenses for this workflow. Now, of course, there is expenses because it is a business at the end of the day. But if you have your own product, right, like this guy does, and you're selling something or you're growing your brand, eventually you're going to make that back and you're going to see a return. What you're paying for is the automation. You can do this manually if you want and post manually for a while. You just download CapCut, which is free, and you can post this way for a while, start a product already. But this is so that it's automatic and you don't really have to worry about it. So let's get into making this node by node inside of n8n. So once you're signed into n8n, up here, you can click this little plus to create a new workflow. And then over here, we're going to click here and go manual trigger just to keep things easy. We'll add the schedule at the end. So we're going to click manual, and then we're going to search sheet, Google Sheets, and then get rows in sheet because we only need the information. So let's click that. Now what you're going to want to do is up here, click here, create new credential, and sign in if you haven't already. Just sign in with your Google account, and then you are all good to go. Now, in the description, you will find a link to this Google Sheet, which has these example videos, okay? I'll show you an example of these videos right now. This is an example of the templates that are in the Google Sheet. So I'm just going to play this. It is muted for copyright. There we go. It fades in, just like the videos, and then we have this GIF at the bottom. So it's muted for copyright, but it's that "Me and the Devil" song, right? And then what you'll notice is at the top, there is no white box. So that's what Creatomate is going to do to make it a unique video. And it's going to write that all automatically. And it's going to choose between all of the different templates randomly, which is pretty awesome. So in the description, you can find this Google Sheet. And again, at the end of the video, I'm going to show you how you can make this for any kind of template you want, any niche you want, and do it for, yeah, any niche you want. So come up here, click File, and then click Make a Copy, okay? Just name it something that you'll remember, and then click Make a Copy. And make sure you're signed in to a Google account make sure you keep note of what Google account you're signed into, right? Then come back into n8n, and because you signed into the same one, you can come here, it's on Get Rows already, Document, you can choose the one that you named, and then just come here and pick sheet 1. And that is it for that node. Now it's going to be able to get that information. So let me just delete this trigger so it doesn't do 2. And let's test that out. There we go. So as you can see, 6 items. If we come to the table here, there is all of the nodes with the link. And the link and how to set that up with Google Drive is important. So stick to the end for that again as well. But you can use this sheet as an example to test it out for yourself. Creatomate also allows you to use their API just with like low quality if you want to try it, just to see how the workflow works, right? So once you have those links there, what you're going to want to do is create another node. So come here and type code. Click code. Now, don't get overwhelmed by this because guess what? I didn't write this. I got ChatGPT can write this, right? So all you got to do is copy this. You can just screenshot this or even take a picture with your phone, whatever. You just screenshot it, put that into ChatGPT, and it's going to give you this code. Okay? So once you have that, you can copy that and then delete everything in your code node and then paste this in. And then we can name this random. Okay? So this is just going to get a random video from the Google Sheet. So if we click execute step, there we go. We've gotten a random video from that sheet. And I'm just going to be pinning everything so that we can keep it all consistent. Now, what's next is caption writer and screenwriter. So let's add the caption writer first. So we're going to click plus AI and then AI agent. Now we're going to change this to define below because we're not using a chat trigger. Chat trigger is a trigger that's used inside of n8n, which we're not using. So we're going to choose define below so that we can control the prompt. Now, we're also going to come down here and choose system message on the add option. This is how we're going to train it on what kind of captions we want it to write. So it's going to read through this before it gives us a response. So because of that, we can say write a caption. Just write that in there and leave it there. And because of this, we're going to add a prompt into here so that it can see just this and understand it every single time without us having to give it more context. So let's walk through how we can create a system prompt for any niche. So we're going to create the system prompt inside of ChatGPT. So once you're on ChatGPT, just come here and we're just going to say, we're doing AI, you can do whatever niche you want. We're going to say, make me a system prompt for my n8n AI agent. What we're making this prompt for is for the caption. So it's the caption of the Instagram reel. I want it to create captions for my Instagram reels about AI agents. The A on my keyboard duplicates A for some reason, so that's why. About AI agents. It should be under 100 characters. Start with comment AI. And it should include at least one emoji. I'm going to say, make it detailed. Enter. There we go. Now we have our system prompt. So we can come up here, click copy. We're going to bring that over to our AI agent, and we're going to paste that in. There we go. Now, before we can do this, we're going to need to add a chat model so that it works. If you don't know how to connect this, you can check out my beginner guide on my channel. We're going to use OpenAI. I like to use 4.0. And then I'm just going to name this Captions, Caption Writer 1. Okay. Now we can come in here and let's give that a shot. Comment AI if you're done wasting hours doing what a bot can do faster. So there we go. Now, if we're not happy with this, what we can do is we can come back into ChatGPT and say, increase the character limit to 500 characters if you want a longer caption, right? So you can come in here and modify it based on what you want the output to be. But for now, I'll just leave it with that. So next, we need to write the screenwriter. So this is what's going to actually determine what text is on screen. So we're going to add another AI agent for that right here. So click that and then come to AI, AI agent. I'm going to call mine screenwriter 1. Same thing, define below, write a caption, add option, system message. Now we're going to write the system message with ChatGPT again. I'm going to delete that. We're going to come back to ChatGPT. I'm just going to start a new chat. And I'm going to say, write me a system prompt for my n8n AI agent. It writes text on screen for my Instagram videos about, insert whatever your niche is, about AI agents. Now for me, what I want it to do is I want it to be in the format of bro and me, XXX. Fill XXX with, so for bro, I want it to be, I worked with, for example, bro, something difficult when making content. And then me, how my AI agent saved me time. Enter. So what that's going to do is it's going to create basically like a meme style where it's like bro and me. So bro, like I spent all day making 7 reels, and then it'll be like me, my AI agent did it for me in 24 hours or whatever, something like that, right? And that is the goal. So let's copy this. And let's paste that into system message. Now you can put whatever you want. Remember, you can put anything you want for on screen for it to be a meme. So I pasted that in from ChatGPT, and now let's test that out. Let's execute that step. We got to connect the node first. So you can just connect it to the same one. I'm also going to pin the last one because I like that and I don't want it to change. Let's go back in and execute the step. Here's our output. Bro spent days planning content that flopped. Me, my AI agent hit virality on the first draft. Okay. So I like how that turned out. See this right here? This means there's 2 lines. So in our workflow, we're going to have 2 different lines. If this isn't showing up for you, then what you're going to want to do is come back into n8n and say, make sure in the output it's separated by 2 lines, right? For this example, that's what we're doing. So we're going to have 2 different lines separated by this, which is important for later for the workflow to understand what's happening. Now, I also want to show you another tip for this. Let's say you found one that you already liked. So I'm here on this Instagram page. What we can do is we can click on it. I'm going to come down here, search snipping tool. I'm going to come here, new, and I'm going to screenshot it like that, and then hit edit, copy. I'm going to come back into ChatGPT. I'm just going to say, paste this in. I'm going to say, switch it to produce ones like this instead. I want it to be about leads and emails. Enter. There you go, right? So you can find ones that you like already and just give it an example like that. And now you're automatically pumping out ones that are like those as well, right? So now that we have that, what we're going to do, I'm going to pin that. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to add another code node. I'm going to click plus code. And then this one's going to be called split. I'm just going to drag this over here. Come on into here. And then again, you can just screenshot this and put this into ChatGPT, right? Just like with snipping tool, like I just showed you, and say, give me this JSON or give me this JavaScript, sorry, and it will give you this code. So this is just basically going to take the output and split it into 2 different lines so that we can handle each one separately. I'm going to copy this. We're going to come back over here. We're going to delete all the default stuff in there, and we're going to paste that in. Okay, that's pinned. So now I'm going to execute this step with that in there, and we're going to test that out. There we go. So as you can see, in the table, we have 1 line here and 1 line here. Now, if you want to do just 1 line, you can do 1 line and just take this output directly into the next section. But for this example, we're doing 2 lines, bro, and then me, for that kind of meme style. Now that we have that, I'm going to right click and pin. Next, we need to go to Creatomate. So once you're on Creatomate, link in the description, you can just click Get Started for free. Again, you can use it for free. It will just be a lower quality just to test it out and see if you like it. So once you're logged in, you can come over here to Templates, click New, click Start from Scratch, and then we're going to do 9x16 vertical, Create Template. Then in the top right up here to this source editor, just click that. And this is just a JSON that's going to basically tell it what format we want. So in order to do that quickly, inside of my school community here, I'm going to copy this. And again, you can just screenshot this to use it. So I'm just going to paste that right in here. And there we go. We have our format ready to go. So what this is going to do is these are dynamic values, which will be changed by our workflow. So once this is in here, now we can use this template in n8n. So we have this ready. I'm just going to name this something up here. I'm just going to call it test 1. And then I'm going to go back because we need to get our API key for n8n. So I'm going to click right here. I'm going to click project settings. And then on API key, you can click right here to reveal it and then copy it. So once you've copied it, we're going to come back into n8n and we're going to add our HTTP request. HTTP. So this is going to allow us to communicate with Creatomate. So we can click that. And I'm just going to name it Creatomate. And now in the help docs in the description, you can find this link, okay? So in the REST API post, if you scroll down here, you can see an example request of how this works. So first of all, this is the link of what we're going to need. We're doing a post request, and then this is what the authorization looks like, bearer, API key, and then we're basically giving it information on what to produce, right? So on this link, we're going to need to copy this link right here. We'll see. And we're going to paste that into the URL section in n8n. The method is post, again, from right here, post, as you can see. We're going to do post. And the authentication, we're going to do generic, header auth, and then click create new credential. Name it Creatomate, or whatever you want. For this name right here, though, you need to do authorization exactly like this. Needs to be spelled that exact way. And then as you can see, bearer API key, bearer space API key. So for the value, change this to expression so you can see it, and then type bearer space and paste your API key from Creatomate right there. And then you can click save, and that will be all set up and good to go. Mine is already ready. So I can just come here and click Creatomate. Next, we are going to go send body, and we're going to do just using JSON. Okay. So for this, we come back into the school again. You can copy this from a screenshot after putting it into ChatGPT. We're going to use this JSON right here. We'll see. I'm going to come back into n8n and then paste that right here. So what this is telling Creatomate what we want, right? So as you can see, we have the template ID right here. So in order to get that, we're going to come back to Creatomate. Once you have your template that you want to use, we're going to click on it, click Use Template, click API Integration, and then copy this right here. That's the template ID. So that tells it which template to use. So I've just copied that. We're going to come back to n8n and paste that in these quotations right here. Oops. Okay, didn't copy it. Copy. Paste. There we go. Now for the video one source, this is wrong because this is the name from my last node on my last workflow. So I'm going to delete that. And we're going to come back down to the random one. So we're going to take the link that the random one chose. So we can go here, drag this right in between those quotations. Why is that not working? Unpin node split. Okay, we got to unpin it apparently for that to work. So we'll do that after. Now from your split node, these should be lined up after you've copied this. But if not, you'll just drag in each of your lines from the node before this into these two text boxes. So as you can see, the first one is the bro, that's text 1, and the second one is the me, right? And that's text 2. So if we look in Creatomate, we have text 1 and text 2 in here. So those will be replaced by this node. So make sure, again, you have to execute things as you go so that you can access these, right? So I have everything executed. It's wanting me to unpin this for whatever reason. So I'm going to unpin that so that we can actually get this video one source to run through. All right. Now that should be everything for this. So why don't we give that a shot? Remember, we've executed everything through. Everything is pinned. I just unpinned the random so that it will run through. So I'm going to click execute and let's give that a shot. Okay, it's just going to pick another video. That's fine. And now it's gone through to Creatomate, and it looks like everything has worked. So here is the URL, and we can also come into Creatomate. We're just going to go back. We're going to click API log, and as you can see now, it's rendering. So I'm just going to wait for that to be done, and then we'll take a watch. Okay, so it's all done. If we just click here, we can open this up. And as you can see, render time, 63 seconds. Let's just go full screen. I'm going to mute it again. It's the Me and the Devil song. Bro, spent days planning content that flopped. Me, my AI agent, hit virality on the first draft. We hit play. As you can see, nice high quality video, all done. So from there, we can see it took 63 seconds. So I'm going to come back to n8n and close out of that. And again, you can look at it at this URL as well. If you go to this URL before it's done, it's not going to show you the video. It's just going to say error. So don't be alarmed if that happens. You may just need to wait a little bit longer. Now we need to add a new node, a wait node. So we can wait for it to be done before handing it off to the rest of the workflow. Because if we try and hand off a file that's not done, then the rest of the workflow isn't going to know what to do with it because it's expecting something else. We're going to go wait. We're going to do 2 minutes. And I'm just going to write 120 seconds for 2 minutes. And now this will wait 2 minutes before handing it off to the rest of the workflow to automatically publish it to Blotato. So that's what we're going to do right now. So first we're going to go to Blotato. Once you are logged into Blotato, at the bottom left here, you can go to settings. And then this is where you will log in with your Instagram account. So once you're logged into Instagram on your browser, then you can come here, click login with Instagram, and it's going to give you your accounts down here. So we'll have to come back to the account ID afterwards. Right now, what we're going to need is we're going to need to come to the API section for our API key afterwards, actually. So right now, let's go into n8n and let's create our new HTTP request. We're going to add a new HTTP request and we're going to call it upload Blotato. Okay. Now, to set all this up, I'm going to link the Blotato help docs in the description. So on the left here, just scroll down and then go to API reference, open this up and go to upload media. Once you click upload media, it's going to look like this. This is going to send the file to their servers so that we can post it after. So just come here and copy this URL, base URL, copy that, paste that in. We're not done yet. We have to come back and get this /media part. And keep in mind, post as well, as you can see. We're going to put that on there. Method is post. Now we need to authenticate. So we're going to go generic, header auth. We're going to add our header auth. Now we can name this to Blotato. And then for right here, we want to type Blotato API key. Has to be exactly like that. And then for the value, we're going to come back to Blotato like before, the actual Blotato website in the settings on the bottom left. And then you can copy your API key here. And this is only going to work if you have the subscription, because if there's a bunch of people from the free plan, it's going to affect the API trust. So we can't have a bunch of, you can't have a bunch of bots going to the service. Otherwise, it looks like a bot service to Instagram. You can copy from right there and then paste it right into value and then hit save. And that's going to authenticate Blotato. Then from there, I'm just going to set mine. There we go, Blotato. We're going to come down to send body, turn that on, and leave this as is, JSON using fields below. We're going to do URL right in there, just like that. And we need the data from the previous node. So I'm going to temporarily switch this to 1 second so that we can actually execute this and not have to wait 2 minutes. So I'm going to pin Creatomate, actually. Pin Creatomate. Play that. And then go to here. And actually it looks like, oh yeah, sorry. So now that we open this up, it's not done. We have the value, which we'll get from the wait node, right? This is the video from Creatomate that's coming through. So we'll drag that down, the URL, as you can see. Boop. Drag that right there. And now that's all done. So now when we execute this, play. Okay, play please. Okay, might do it twice now. Okay, it uploaded it twice. That's fine. Now, we just have to add the last node, which is going to tell Blotato, okay, post that to Instagram now. So let's do that. We're going to need to add another. Actually, let's just click here, Control C, Control V. Now you have your second request, so everything's good. We're going to link that up, open this. We're going to call this post. Okay, post to Instagram, whatever you want, post. And then if we come back to the Blotato help docs, we got to make a few modifications. So we'll click publish post. As you can see, we got to change this to /posts on the URL. We'll come back into n8n. Here's /media. We're going to delete that. /posts. All right. Now for the JSON of this, which is basically just going to tell it information for when it's posting to Instagram, we're going to use this right here. So you can copy this again, just screenshot, go into ChatGPT, ask it for this. And what this is going to do is this is basically going to tell it which account to post to, because you can have 20 accounts on there. It's going to tell it what the caption is going to be. It's going to tell it what URL to post, and then the platform. So if we bring that back into n8n, we're going to switch this specify body to using JSON. And then we're going to paste that in right there. Now let's open that up by clicking right here. Now, as you can see, the text, this is the caption of the Instagram post. So I'm going to delete this part right here. Delete. We're going to go back to the caption writer from earlier, open that up. Here's the output from there. And we're going to drag that into the quotations. So now it's using the caption from our caption writer. The media URLs, this should just work the same. If it doesn't, you can drag it from the upload Blotato from right here. And this is going to use the URL from Blotato. That's what's important. Okay. It can't be the URL from Creatomate or Google Drive or any of that. It has to be from Blotato. Now, the account ID, we'll come back into Blotato now. We'll go to accounts. Again, once you've logged in, you can just come over here to the account that you want, click copy account ID. Then delete this and paste it right in there. And once you're done that, you are good to go. So I am now going to, actually, you can't pin this for some reason if you want to run this one as well. So I'm going to run this one now, and that should post to my Instagram. Let's go. Node executed successfully. Post submission ID. So let's check Instagram now. So on Blotato right here, as you can see, I can refresh to check the status. So it's just turned to completed. As you can, oh, you can check everything here. Look, you can see all that. You can access this right over here on API dashboard. So now that it's been completed, I'm going to come to Instagram and hit refresh on this page. And as you can see, it's popped up 39 seconds ago. And there's our video automatically posted to Instagram. Now back in n8n, I'm going to delete this. We're going to go up here. We're going to type schedule trigger. Cool. Once a day, or you can go hours, every 4 hours, right? Close out of that. We're going to connect that here. And then I'm going to unpin everything. Unpin. And then up here, if you want to activate it, you just got to click this. Got it. And now it is active. I'm just going to disable that. And that is the entire workflow done. Now we're going to walk through how to create these videos in CapCut. And I'm also going to tell you about an extremely important note for when you are using your own custom links in your Google Sheet. You have to do it a specific way in ChatGPT and Google Drive so that n8n can actually access the link. Otherwise, your workflow is going to break. Okay, so first I'm going to quickly go through what it looks like to make a video like this in CapCut. So let's go into CapCut right now. You will need some like basic CapCut skills if you've never used it before. It's not too hard and CapCut is free. So once you have your photo and your song, right? So I'm just going to drag those in. I'm going to click ratio. 9:16. I'm just going to mute the song again for copyright reasons, but let's say you would find the point in your song that you like. You would trim it to, let's say, zoom in here, hold control and then scroll and you can zoom in. So you wanted it 9 seconds long. Then you would drag in your image. All right, so we've got our image here. Going to drag that to the whole length of the clip. And then what we're going to do is we're going to find a point in the video where we want the fade to start coming in. So let's say we want it to start coming in 3 seconds in. We're going to come over here to video, basic, and as you can see, blend. We're going to open this up. This is opacity. So this is how, I guess, the fade, I don't know. And then you're going to want to click this right here. This is going to add a keyframe. So we're going to turn this down to 0 after clicking that. And you can see it down here. So let's go like another 3 seconds. And then when we drag this up, now that we've changed it, it's going to automatically add another keyframe down here, as you can see. So in between these two keyframes, you can see on the right there, the opacity changes between them. So now when we play the video, the text will be reading the text, and then the image will come in. Now, it is important to make sure that you're making lots of room. You can drag this down for the white box at the top, okay? We can drag this down a little bit so that there's room for that to come in. And then once you're happy with that, we can come up here to export, and then you can just click export and you're all good to go and your video is done. Once your video is done, this is what you're going to want to do. Come to Google Drive, right? Once you're on Google Drive, click new, make your new folder. I'm just going to call it test1, create. Okay, going to open this. And then you're going to want to drag your file into here. So let me just find that. Okay, I've got my file after exporting it in CapCut. And I'm just going to drag it into this Google Drive folder. You're going to want, like, I would do like maybe 10 or 20 videos. So now that it's uploaded, this is what we're going to do. We're going to click here and we're going to click share. Share. And then switch this from restricted to anyone with the link. And then we're going to click done. Now, your video, select over all your videos, right click, share, copy link. When there's multiple videos, it'll copy all the links of the videos for you. Now, what you have to do is come back to ChatGPT, come into ChatGPT, paste the link in and say, give me this in an exportable link. Put all your links in there, and it will give you all of the exportable links for that. Okay, it's giving me an explanation, but here it is, as you can see. Your direct export link. So we're going to copy that. And then in our spreadsheet, let me just find the spreadsheet. Okay, we're in the spreadsheet that we connected to n8n. You're just going to want to come here, paste that in, and then you can add a number for it. And now you have the direct export link for that file, and your workflow is going to randomly go through. So you can make this for a bunch of different niches if you want, but you can fill this with a whole bunch of stuff for your niche, and then it's going to automatically do that for all those videos. That's the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. My free Telegram is in the description so you can stay updated and get these videos before anyone else. I send updates before they're posted in the Telegram, and you can also stay up to date with more value and what's going on in the AI world. That's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment if you have any questions. Let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.